Hi, on this video, what I'm going to go through is the research on your patch, the research of the property. So I'm going to cover, well, you can do this. You can choose 3 different types of properties. So if you're in a wealthy area or a built-up area or a city, then maybe choose flats because they're going to be more in tune with renters and tenants. And you could choose 1-bed flats, 2-bed flats, and then 2-bed terraces, for example, to keep your prices down, because we're competing in the first time and second time buyer market along with investors, and we might want to sell our property, our deals to investors. So let's start with the 9-box grid research. Now, 9-box grid is because there's 9 boxes on a spreadsheet, on a piece of graph paper, whatever you like, and we're going to investigate what prices are on your patch. So across the top, we've got the type of property that you're looking at or that you're researching. And down the side, we've got the conditions. So let's say I'm going to demonstrate in Nuneaton, because that's where I am, in North Warwickshire. So in Nuneaton, we're a town, not a city. We're not built up tremendously. We've got lots of farmland around the town. So therefore, we haven't got many flats. So I'm not going to use flats. I'm going to use 3 grades of house, or 3 sizes of house, which is terraces. 2-bed terraces, 3-bed terraces, and maybe 3-bed semis. Now, what's the condition down the side? So the condition down the side is grot box, renter, and palace. And I'll describe what they are so you know what they are. So a grot box needs a refurb. It needs a full refurb, so what we call a minor refurb. So bathroom, kitchen, decor, carpets, and outside areas. That's a minor refurb. And that should come in under 12,000. So that's a grot box. A renter has everything in the building, everything there. It's all it's a rentable property, but it's a bit old-fashioned. It could do with updating at some point. So that's a renter. And then we have a palace. And a palace has got everything in there. It's all fairly modern. It's got low flush toilets. It's got a pedestal, single tap sink, wash basin in the bathroom. It's got a modern kitchen. It's dressed properly. It's dressed for presentation. That's what we call a palace. So there's 3 different conditions of property we might be looking at. So grot box, renter, and palace. And they go down the side of your graph paper or your spreadsheet or whatever. And across the top, we're going to look at the different types of property. So I'll do one for an example for you. And I know you can't see this because I'm online and I'm looking at the screen behind me. So I'm choosing Nuneaton, and I've searched for 2-bed terraces, terraced houses, and I'm looking at the cheapest first, in effect, really. So the cheapest first, I've got one at 96,000. Now there's a couple of anomalies when we're doing research. So we choose new build or old build and compare them slightly differently, because someone that would live in an old build house probably wouldn't choose a new build house, and vice versa. Someone that would choose a new build house wouldn't live in an old build house. And then with the old build, we've got slightly different grades. We've got flat-fronted terraces, which are usually the cheapest. They're the smallest ones. And we've got bay window terraces. They're slightly more expensive. So we might split our 9-box grid into more grids to make sure we're actually comparing like for like. Now, I'm not looking at sold prices because they've already gone. They've already sold. I'm looking at what's on the market right now, and then seeing what sort of prices we're looking at for these particular type of properties. So the first one is a flat-fronted terrace. It's a new build house, or a newer build house. It's under 10 years old, and it's 96,000 on the market right now. So that's my first grid, or my first box in my grid of research, is flat-fronted new build terrace is 96,000. And it's just the first one that's come up. And then I'll scroll down the listings. There's actually 44 terrace houses on sale right now in Nuneaton. And if I scroll down, I've got an old build terraced house. This is a bay window terrace. This is quite a large one, because the bay window terraces are normally bigger. This is Victorian, and that's 130. So it's actually more expensive than the new build stuff. The new build is smaller build, smaller rooms, smaller footprint on the ground floor. This is quite a grand, bay window terrace. Still a 2-bed, but a bay window terrace at 130. So that goes in my box, 130. And then the next one, I've got one that's a flat-fronted terrace. The flat-fronted terraces as a 2-bed are, they're quite small. The footprint's quite small downstairs. They generally don't have a living room and a dining room. They've generally got a living room and then a kitchen sometimes. or because quite often they've knocked through. They used to have a dining room in the old days, but they've been knocked through to make the living room bigger, to make the house more livable, and quite a lot of people do that. Now this one is a 2-bed, it's on at 132, and it actually says it's a grot box in the listing. What I mean by grot box, it's one to do up. It's one for the agent is advertising. It's not in very good condition. It's flat fronted to street, so it's one of the cheaper ones in the town, and it's at 132. So 132 goes in my grot box 2-bed terrace box on my spreadsheet. If I scroll down a little bit further, I've got one at 150. This is a single bay, so it's got a bay downstairs but not a bay upstairs, so it's slightly bigger. It's in between the two, in fact. So now I've got there. I'll click into the listing to see what sort of condition it's in. And I know, I appreciate you can't see this because I'm doing it online, but you can do it in your own area yourself, and this one, the condition inside is very good. That's a palace. It's a very good condition building. It's a single bay terrace and it's at 150. So what we're doing here is we're looking at the grades of house, the typical condition of the house on each, and you can see on the listings, generally speaking, what the condition's like. In fact, I'll go into our doer-upper, and our doer-upper, the flat-fronted one at 132, the building looks okay, it's not too bad, hasn't got the bedroom above the stairs. If there's a window above the door on a terrace house, it's got a bedroom there. Condition's not too bad. It is a grot box, it does need some work, it's empty, the decor is dated, the back garden needs some tidying up, so it does need doing up, it does need some work on there. Not quite a renter. So what I'm doing is as I go, I'm filling in my boxes and I'm gauging a price. I'm just using what's there at the time being. I'm making no assumptions at all apart from the condition and the type of house it is on my boxes. And when I've got all my 9 box grids filled, which might turn into more boxes, don't forget, then you can gauge an idea of where you are with the prices in your area. And the thing is, I can pick up a doer-upper, 2-bed flat-fronted terrace doer-upper at 132, and then I've got to create the gap or find the gap of what the selling price is, what it is to a palace. And the idea behind trading deals back out to retail, back out to the retail market, is what we do is we do the work on the grot box and turn it into a palace if the gap's big enough, and we're looking for about a 30 grand gap here. Then you can go ahead and do the deal because you're going to make money. And I've been doing refurb deals since 1996. I've been doing them a long time. If it's anything less than 30 grand, you've got to do it quick, or it's got to be easy work. If it's anything more than 30 grand, take your time and spend a bit more money on it. But if we're at this level, 132, this should sell out at 169, and I can check out a nice one and see if there's a gap here. So 132, don't forget, for a doer-upper flat-fronted terrace. And if I go for looking for a palace, I can see that there's a couple of palaces here. And actually for a 2-bed terrace, old build terrace, don't forget, not a new build terrace, the sellout price on the old build terrace is in good condition, 196. So we've got one as a doer-upper at 132, flat-fronted terrace, and then as a palace, there's one at 196, there's another one at 195, 2 at 195, and there's another one at 194, another one at 190, another one at 190. So I've got enough comparables there, one at 189, enough comparables on my listings to realise there's a bigger than 30 grand gap. Therefore, I can do this deal. I can buy this house at 132 with the expectation of selling back out to retail. And in further videos, what I'll do is go through some creative ways which you can do this deal where you don't need to buy the house. That's called an assisted sale. I'll go through that in a future video, one of my parts of 6. But I'll see you on the next video. That's a little bit of research for you. You can practice on your own patch. You can go through your own houses and your own stock. You don't have to pick 2-bed terraces. You can drop down to studios, 1-bed flats, 2-bed flats. You can use 1-bed flats, 2-bed flats, 2-bed terraces. 3-bed flats are a bit of an anomaly, so I wouldn't particularly use them. I'll tell you why in a future video. But that's the basics of 9-box grid research. So I hope that helps you do some research on your own patch. And by all means, come back to me if you get stuck. Give me a call on my landline number. It'll be on this video. We'll have a chat. So my name's Mark. Welcome to the series. Hope that helped, and we'll talk to you in the next video, which is video 2. And video 2 will be on how to package a property deal in 9 different ways. My name's Mark. Speak to you soon.